What's up guys, welcome to CrazyTownInc and also welcome to my office. This is the first time I revealed this on YouTube, but this is basically where all the magic happens. I get all my ideas, research, and topics from sitting here and thinking about them and planning everything. I do all my drawing on this desk and I've had it for a long time. I don't remember how much I bought it for, but it's served me well. I don't know if you can see them or not, but on the sides it has like adjustable hinges, so you can literally make it tilt this way, that way, you can make it sideways or such. And so it's a very reliable piece. It helps me out a lot. And to get straight to the point, where we right now are doing a time-lapse video of this piece that I made for Christmas last year. And it's one of my favorite pieces. I got 3 keywords to make this piece, and it was nature, dream catcher, and elephant, and those were given to me by the client. And so I kind of like put the whole thing together on a piece of paper, a draft paper first, and when I realized how it came together, it was easier for me to draw it on the wood later on. And once I contacted the client, showed them the way it looks like, they loved it. And so I put it and recorded it. And I want to make a little statement about my YouTube channel and videos. So I love doing this. I love recording and I love editing and I love uploading, and I feel like some people learn, some people are entertained, and others are just, you know, like passing time watching my videos. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I want to say I'm sorry I don't always upload. Like, I'll go through like a time where I won't upload anything for like 2 months or maybe a month. But the only reason I don't do so is because as an artist, especially when working for clients, not just like freehanding stuff, you want to give them the best value and the best product and the best quality they can get. And so it's so hard to set up the tripod over this desk and like get the angle straight and do all that. And so sometimes I do get lazy, but it's not in my nature. It's just the fact that it's so hard not to get my face in the camera view of sight, because I want to get like deep down into the details as I draw, and when the camera is just like over my head, I'm blocking it. And so that's one of the problems that I face. Also, the second big problem that I face while recording is the fact that I don't have the right software. I feel like every time I record and every time I edit, I don't have the software I need to give you guys the best quality I can give out. And so I work with like the most basic software I can, and it's only because I've been learning. I'm self-taught when it comes to art, video editing, and like, you know, putting and facing the camera and the light in like a position where it'll give you like the best quality. But I'm learning the hard way, but they say the hard way is always best because it stays there with you. And so I'm planning on buying or leasing Adobe software pretty soon, and I want to get the whole branch all together, from like Premium, Illustrator, Photoshop, and all that, because I feel like they're really needed at this time that we're at. You know, it's 2018, so everything's online, everything's digital. Today I was on Instagram and I followed Dan Bilzerian. He's like this multi-millionaire poker guy. And he's releasing this cannabis company where he can do it like worldwide. He can literally like sell cannabis worldwide to anyone, you know, who it's legal to sell to. And he offered $10,000 to the best artist or whoever it is that can make them like the best logo for his company. And so that's big. Like $10,000 is great money for someone who's just trying to like put it into their work, or, you know, even needs the money. So when I went and started like drawing and sketching out, and then I looked at the competition, people were just using digital art. They were using Adobe software, and everything looked so crispy and clean. And so I decided to just like not even do it, because the competition is just up here, and like being just like an illustrator who just uses pen, pencil, and like scanning them to get like the best quality that you can get, it doesn't make sense to compete with someone who's just doing digital art, because it's just like a different medium. So when you do need logos, it comes to digital art. And the way I used to do it is I would make it as crispy as possible, as symmetric as possible, and scan it because it gives you the perfect lighting. Flip everything out that you need and then upload it into like any other software that I have, from like Paint, from you can use online software like Canva, like Designer and stuff like that. There's like this app that I downloaded and it comes in handy sometimes. But enough talking about all this, let's get to the video. I'll be talking about how I did it and maybe I'll do some ranting about what pisses me off in society sometimes. But I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe if you enjoy all this. Again, thank you so much for being patient, supportive. I really appreciate everyone who puts time into watching my videos. Peace. Alright, so let's start by saying that this piece had 3 keywords. The first one was the elephant, the second one was the dream catcher, and the third one was nature. So I combined all those to create this so-called masterpiece. I think the way it came together is beautiful. It's very symmetric. The elephant does not stand out too much. The dream catcher looks perfect. The way the circle came together around it and all that pattern, it was all original art. The way nature and the mountains are there to kind of complement the background and gives it all that depth. This was very fun to make. You can see how much details I had to put into it and how much steady my hands had to be. And I always tell everyone who asks me, or I just say it online, the key to getting really steady hands is practice. You have to be able to practice drawing straight lines, drawing circles, drawing curved lines like half a circle and such, drawing triangles, squares, cubes. Some might think that those are a waste of time, or some might think that they won't really show progress at all by doing that. But in reality, just drawing a cube, a line, a circle, and like a rectangle a day, every day, one time at least, will show progress. And the best way to compare progress is using months, or like by months. So every 2 months you check out where you are at and where you are by drawing the same thing for those 2 months. Here we're outlining the elephant. The pattern and like the medium that I'm using for the elephant is basically of a 3-dimensional concept, and you can see it when I put the shading in and all that, but I think that comes last. I kind of wanted to finish the Dreamcatcher first because it was one of like the main pieces. It's the top piece, and the way it stands out is key because it brings the whole thing into shape. And I knew that the background, the mountains, the trees, and the river would just complement it as a background, and so I left that for last. And I normally like to start from top to bottom, especially on these wood pieces, because the piece heats up because this warmer is actually burning through the wood, and so when the piece heats up, you don't want to have your skin laying on it, so that's why I start from top to bottom. The trees on this piece looked a little weird, but I used this certain design because I wanted to just have the simple line-based art when it came to the background. I didn't want it to be too overwhelming because that was the job of the elephant and the dream catcher. And so all those ideas and thoughts should come to mind when you're trying to draw a logo or be an illustrator, when you do custom work for people and such. And here we're filling up the elephant, and this is where the shading aspect comes in, and you have to keep in mind there is a certain light that is hitting this elephant or the object that you're drawing, and so always keep in mind where that light is and how you want to shade, and that helps you big time. So for example, if it's coming from the right side of the picture, that means everything to the left side of that certain object has to be shaded, because just imagine how the sun hits the tree and where the shadow is, or your own shadow. And if you're having trouble imagining that, try to use a pencil to shade it first and see if it makes sense, because your mind will find comfort in looking at something where there's no conflicting shadows or shading. And so drawing a pencil and outlining everything to begin with is always key when you want to create art that is very pop out like that. And here I did the land just by drawing lines, and I didn't press too hard on the wood so it doesn't line up too dark. And for the sun, I kind of used the same concept, and I didn't want the rays to go way too far up because I knew that would be too overwhelming. I think we're reaching the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you like this channel, and have a good day, bros.